I'm with the Monterey Institute for Research in Astronomy here in Marina. We're off of 2nd and 8th by the big box stores. Myra does a lot of things. They primarily are a scientific institute that does professional astronomical research. But we also have an educational component, which I'm part of, and that's what we're doing here, is the educational component of Myra. So we've been putting telescopes in libraries for several years now. We are the first ones to put telescopes in libraries in California. We do this in conjunction, we have been doing this in conjunction with an organization called Cornerstones of Science, which is in Maine. And that's where we basically get these telescopes from. These telescopes were made from the Orion Company, which actually is in Watsonville. People in Cornerstones of Science modify them for library. So, this is the telescope, the library telescope. I think I'll just start by telling you the different parts of the telescope. This whole thing, this is what we call, this is the telescope. So, the telescope is composed of an optical tube, that's this thing here. This is the optical tube. This is the eyepiece. We look through this, and then this is the base. This is a wooden base that holds the telescope in place. And as you can see, you can hold it in both hands and turn it, and up and down. And that's how you aim the telescope. This is the eyepiece. This is what you look through. This is a finder. It's what we call the finder. And I'll show you how these work in just a minute. The eyepiece has a lens cap on a string, and the optical tube has a lens cap on the tube. Now, if you look into this, you will see a mirror at the bottom and some other things. So this is the side that you point toward what you want to look at. This is what you look into, and this is how you aim it. So, I will show you briefly. You turn this on the finder, you turn it on, and look through the finder, look like this, look right through there until you see a red dot. Then you take the red dot, move it, and as you move the telescope, the red dot moves. So you move it, so the red dot, keep looking at the red dot, so look, the red dot is pointing to what you want to look at in the sky. Let's say it's the moon. Then the telescope should be pointed at the moon. Then you look in this. This is the eyepiece. Now, one thing about the eyepiece is it is a zoom eyepiece, so it will zoom in and out. So it increases and decreases magnification by turning this barrel. This here these are the focusing knobs. So it moves the telescope in and out to focus the telescope. So you just move it in and out until slowly until the telescope is in focus and you can see what you're trying to look at in detail. Finder here will have batteries. Also, comes with some books, a little pouch and some books. Has a manual, which this says Orion Star Blast 4.5 telescope, 4.5 inch telescope. And this has a good explanation of all the aspects of the telescope and how to use the telescope. We also have one in Spanish that we got made a few years ago. There's also a Audubon Society book on constellations and talks about different stars and such. So this will be of some interest as well. We also should have a headlamp. This is the headlamp. What's the point of the headlamp? Point of the headlamp is to let you look in the dark. Figure out what you're doing in the dark. Why would you need a red one? Well, by the way, so this is on your forehead so that your hands can be active and you can point the light. There's a red one because if you have your eyes looking at a white light, it kills your night vision. The longer you are, you may have noticed that when you go into a dark room, you can't see very well until your eyes adjust. This lets your eyes adjust, and if you're looking at the bright light and then but the sky, you can't see too much. But then, as your eyes adjust, you can see more and more and more from the sky. Red light allows you to look at things, point light at things, without wrecking your night vision. Also in here, we have a lens cleaner. So we'll talk about lens cleaning. These things are delicate. I don't recommend doing any significant lens cleaning on this. If the lens really need to be cleaned, you can call Myra and somebody can help you with that. But it does come with a lens cleaning pen, and this is it here. A couple things. So basically how it works is there's a little switch here, and you just push it up and down, and you expose a little brush. It's a very soft brush, and so you can use it to brush the dust off the eyepiece. You don't need it to do anything in here. In fact, don't do anything in the optical tube. Now, you might notice that you can screw off the end of this. It comes with another lens cleaning device. I recommend don't use it. Transporting it. So, first of all, two things before we get to that. When you're not using it, always replace the lens cap on the eyepiece. And where is here it is. And replace the lens cap on the front end of the telescope. So if you are carrying a telescope, lens caps need to be on. Put your arm under here and carry it like this. It's really easy. It's good to do. It's the safest way to do it. The best thing to do is put it in a car and drive it there. How do you put it in the car? Put it on the seat and put a seat belt around it. Lock the seat belt around it. That's probably the safest way to do it. This finder needs to be aligned with the telescope. Not hard to do, but I've been doing those for the libraries. And someone else is going to be taking over this job for me. I've been doing this for the last several years, helping the libraries with these telescopes, coming out and taking a look every now and then at them and making sure that this finder is aligned with the telescope and making sure that everything is in good shape. These are meant to be put on a table outside of people's houses, a picnic table, another portable table of some sort, patio table or something. These are tabletop telescopes. Most telescopes do not have this kind of a base. They're not tabletop. Most of them go on a tripod. But otherwise, the optical tube is the same. I think that's all.
Great. Thank you.
You are welcome.